We shall move on. AEW once again. Will Ospreay. Now, this quote caused quite a bit of controversy, Dutch. Do you know what it is?
Yeah, I've read it.
Okay.
I read the whole thing.
Oh, well, you tell us what it is then.
No, you tell me.
Okay. During an interview with the Daily Star, Will Ospreay was asked if there was
The Daily Star is what?
Newspaper in the UK.
Yeah.
A tabloid.
A daily?
Yeah. I'd hope so. We're daily in it. So, if there's respect between AEW and WWE stars, or if it's more of a rivalry. He said, I think it's a bit of both, to be honest with you. I think deep down we know WWE is a machine, it's an animal. They're in giant stadiums and they're doing so good, but a lot of people look at us and just say, we're doing it wrong because WWE are doing this. I believe look at us, he means AEW. No, there are different ways of doing it. I got into WWE when I was a kid, but when I became a teenager, I just thought it was lame. There were certain guys I enjoyed. Eddie Guerrero was one, Edge was another, Randy Orton. But after a while, I was just like, it's so pantomiming, I'm bored. It's the same stuff. It's recycled, and it's over and over again. And every now and again, you'd get something cool, like the CM Punk Pipe Bomb promo. Every now and again, you'd get something like something good. And WWE are on fire now, but I still, not only as a viewer, just as a viewer, but as a wrestler, I just don't enjoy it. Now, I want to get to the main quote where he basically says, throughout this, he says, AEW does everything better than WWE as well. So what do you make of all that?
Well, that's good for Tony Khan to read. That's great for him. And do I agree with him on some things? I do. But let me tell, Ospreay is not doing the same type of professional wrestling that the rest of the crew is doing. He's doing that. Don't sell nothing. Get up, move as quick as you can. Boom, 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 which is fine. How old is Will Ospreay?
Younger than me, early 30s, I think.
Well, he's still young. So when you train people when people start liking your style, when the next people come along that they don't do what you're doing, people are going to say, oh, that's boring. You know, you're doing harm without realizing you're doing harm because the guys can't do the same stuff you do. So, and I want you, if you're in your early 30s, when you get to your 40s, if you can still be doing that stuff, more power to you. But it's not the moves that draw money. It's the story, as we just witnessed with MJF and her business. I don't care what kind of moves they do. It's the thought that a long story like that the people would look forward to. Yeah, I think he'd do a lot better. And I don't think that AEW does a better wrestling show than WWE. I just don't, because WWE, they're their industry standard. So we just said that their stream was busted this last weekend or whenever it was. You don't see that with WWE, do you?
No, very rarely.
That's what I'm saying. So, and that's his opinion, and he's entitled to his opinion. And but by and large, I think if he would slow down, and if he would have the same writer that did the Hurt Business and the MJF segments, if he had the same writer or two writers or how many's doing it, slowing it down so he's telling a story, he'd do a lot better. Plus, it would do him good because he could save his body and actually extend his career. Because he's going to get hurt somewhere, sometime doing this. And see, when he makes these shows, they fly him every week from the UK to the States.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, and to me, I see him, his stuff is tremendous. But I wouldn't walk across the street to see him. I really wouldn't. Because the story is not there. The character is not there. The subliminal message, whatever he's trying to send, I don't connect with. So you got to connect me somehow to you or to a story or to a scenario that I want you to win. And so far, you haven't done that. You're just doing move after move after move after move, and the other guy's doing move after move after move. And it's like watching gymnastics. Sequenced gymnastics is what it is. You like that word? I just made it up.
No, it's synchronized.
You agree with that or no?
Yeah, absolutely I do. Because, Will Ospreay's been out there for years. I mean, he's about the best high flyer in the business. He really is. But you're absolutely right. I mean, the quote here is, it's him describing WWE. It's the same stuff. It's recycled. And it's over and over again.
Okay, you tell me, what is not recycled?
Yeah.
What is not recycled? We only got so many things that we can do, but you can put different people in those positions, and that changes the dynamic of it. There's only so many plays you can run in football. It's the same play. A fullback up the middle. Okay, a flare pass out in the flat. Okay, the bomb. You only got so, but it's whether you can connect those things when the time is right. But sometimes he goes in with some of these people that are far less than him, really, and he makes them look as good as he does.
But he shouldn't sometimes.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. He shouldn't do that, because how do we gauge greatness? Because if he's making them look as good as he's making them, and I'm sure he's not selfish, he'll make them look great, actually greater than what they need to look. But I mean, that's just if you think about it, I think I'm right. I think if he would just slow down, tell a story, and I'm not telling him to take his moves out or his spots out and do anything like that. Slow it down. But I don't think he'd like slowing it down. So he can do what he wants to do.
With WWE and AEW comparing the two, AEW do some things better, especially with the pacing of the shows, the TV shows, because this is my opinion. I mean, you tell me otherwise, I think. But, like for an AEW Dynamite, for example, they'll have like 7 or 8 matches, and they'll just get through it and just do the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. Whereas WWE these days are dragging so badly. They're having 4 or 5 matches per 2 hours or 3 hours, or whatever it is. 5 matches in 3 hours.
This is what bothers me about WWE. It takes those guys a day and a half just to get to the ring. Mm-hmm. I think, guys, get in the ring and let's go. I mean, they're walking down, and especially, Seth Rollins, he's singing his song, and you've heard the song. You've heard it 1,000 times. Get in the ring and and look at the guy, and and the guy looking at you, and let the people perceive that there is a pivotal moment coming up, and people are going to wait for that. And they got the announcers to do it. See, there's some things I would change about WWE, but their production doesn't need to be changed. It's their pacing needs to be changed.
I'm trying to find the exact quotes.
Let me ask you this: Has what was his name? Ricochet, he went up against what's his name?
Ospreay.
Ospreay, have they had a match yet?
Yes, they have, and they did the exact same damn thing that they do in every other match they have ever had. They've got the same 1-minute sequence at the beginning that they do every single time, which is why I want to point out the irony that it's the same stuff. It's recycled. It's over and over. He does the same thing. I mean, everyone has to do the same thing to a point, because
But he didn't bring that up, did he?
No, of course he didn't. Here's the thing, though. He's also an AEW.
You need to send him a message right now. Said, why did you do the same thing with Ricochet that you've done 10 other times? Why didn't you change that up?
Oh, because that'd be against the narrative. That's why.
Well, you're going to do sometimes the things that people don't expect. But again, we go back to story, and we go back to the forethought, and we'll see where that gets you.